have to buy the hard copy ready-made mat, even though you can, ready laminated, etc. You can actually order this as the digital download, download it, print, laminate and cut it yourself, the 2 sheets. You need to go to the shop speechsoundpics.com.au. So let me show you first of all just one reason why the speech sound monsters as speech sound pictographs are so powerful. Please read this word aloud to the person next to you. Now, even if this isn't a word you use in everyday conversation, if you've ever heard the word before and you use your code mapping skills, you use your phonics skills to decode this word, your brain will kind of go ping, ping, ping because you'll think, oh, it's that word. So even if on first sight you don't read it as a sight word in the sense of you don't look at it and you know instantly what it is, you actually have to stop and do what every child does when they come to an unfamiliar word. Start at the left, go from the left to the right, following what I say, follow the sounds to say the word. So you're looking at it, you're using your phonics knowledge, your knowledge of the graphemes, what might it be, and you're going from left to right and you'll blend those sounds together. You could end up with lots of different versions if, as you're doing that, you've never heard that word before. Vocab matters because if you've heard the word before, oral language skills, if you heard the word before, you'll go, oh, I know what that means. If you haven't, you've got to rely on your knowledge of the code, but you still won't know what it is. Even if someone actually explains what it means, you're still not going to know how to say it. And if you speak English as a second language, you're used to typing something like this in to the IPA to see the phonetic symbols, because that will show you how to pronounce the word. English is a very complicated language because the sounds we use can be represented on paper in lots and lots of different ways. There's not sort of a one-to-one correspondence. If I say the sound ah, there isn't just one way to represent that sound. Similarly, if I look at the letter A, there isn't just one sound that A represents. So when I'm looking at this word, and I don't know that word by sight, I need to know what the phonetic symbols are. This is just the letter A. It doesn't mean anything until it's in a word. Now, because these letters, the 26 letters of the alphabet, are used to represent speech sounds in words, we want children to associate letters with sounds, but it will depend on the word. But a lot of phonics programs embed a picture, a pictograph, because they want the children to associate that letter with one speech sound. And that's fine when that letter does represent that speech sound. And of course it's better when the child has good phonemic awareness and understands the association. They understand why they're supposed to say ah. They might look at the apple and it might trigger them to remember ah, but they might not actually understand it's because when we say apple, we say ah, p, ul, and ah is one of the sounds, it's the first sound. So that's why phonetic symbols just represent a sound. There's not lots of different links that the child has to get through. A child might look at this and think it's a cherry, and they might still say ah, because they don't really understand the link. They're just memorizing something. So if the child's got to memorize something, why not just memorize a phonetic symbol or a speech sound pictograph instead? That would mean when the letter A doesn't represent ah, there's no confusion, even when the child is 3 or 4 years old. So think of words as pictures of speech sounds. The sound pics are just the letters that are used to represent the speech sound depending on the word. Code mapping shows them where each word is segmented according to the graphemes using black grey, which is my innovation patented technique. I was the first to use it, and it shows children visually how each word is segmented into the graphemes. But the problem is, if it's words that have sound picks, graphemes that the children have not yet learnt in their phonics instruction, how are they going to know the associated sound, how to pronounce it? The same as when you looked at that first word. Even where you know where the word is likely to segment, how do you know how to pronounce each grapheme? That's monster mapping, where our speech sound pictographs come in. Alternatives to phonetic symbols for kids.
Okay, stop doing. Maya, can you follow the monsters to say the word?
Sure. G A O I O R E Gallimore-free.
So if you already use mnemonics, already use embedded mnemonics, this is just a step further. The integrated embedded speech sound pictographs, phonetic symbols for kids, a direct route to the speech sound, less cognitive load.
G A O I O E Gallimore-free.
Oh, that's tricky to say. Can you say that one more time with your best big voice?
Gallimore-free.
Gallimore-free. What do you think that means?
I don't know.
Neither do I. We'll have to look it up. Gallimore-free.
Pot. Here.
This monster says This monster says ah. This monster says This monster says This monster says I. This monster says monster ah. Monster t. Monster p. Monster I. Monster 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 d. Monster j. Look at his eyes, yeah. Yeah. Oh. Listening to the video at the same time. Good boy. Yeah. What else have you got? And the dancing monster. Now this is monster I. Just listen, because his lovely grandma is about to ask him, where's I? Where's monster I? Let's see if he can find her.
Where's E? Yeah, E. Do you have an E there or not? No E? Oh. Clever boy. Good boy.
Now those speech sounds are really kind of floating around in the air. Imagine the speech sound monster who says eh, and let's say the students were listening for that speech sound, eh, in the words that we use in English. Being able to hear those individual speech sounds, the smallest units, is really important.
If we had a magic speech sound camera to take pictures of that speech sound and then put it down on paper, which is why we call it a speech sound pic, it's just a picture of a speech sound, what might it look like? Well, it all depends on the word. Who decided on the words? The speech sound king in his code mapping book, the dictionary.
She stopped it, no she didn't. That's as loud as we've got.
Yeah, what's the name? Which one's that one? Oh, wait, where's Monster J? J, where? Where? Oh, there it is. There's Monster J. Oh, you're so clever. Give it to Mummy. J. Oh, you're going to put it on the pile. That's okay. Where's Monster Oi? Oi. Where's Oi? Where's Oi? Uh-oh. Where's Oi? Here it is. Oh, you're so clever. Put it back. Where are you going to put it? You're going to show it to Mummy? Oi. Oi. Good boy. What about Monster? Oh, that's Monster. That does sound a bit the same, doesn't it? Well done. Put Monster over there. Yeah. Now where's Monster? Yes, there you go. There's Monster. Yay! There's Monster. Where's Monster? G. There's Monster G. Oh, you're so clever. G. Wow.
Follow the monster sounds to say the word. Don't forget your duck hands.
Is A O L A E E
What's that word?
physiotherapist.
Brilliant.
Say hi, Kenzie.
Hi.
Kenzie, you ready to do your monsters?
Yeah.
Okay, you ready? What is this monster? Good girl. What is this monster? Ah, good girl. What is this monster?
T.
Good girl. Tit. Well done. What is this monster? Good girl. What is this monster? E. That's it. E. Good girl. You ready? What is this monster? Good girl. What is this monster? Good girl. What is this monster? D. Good girl. D. What is this monster? Good. That's it. Kick your leg. Good. What is this monster? J. Good girl. What is this monster? Well done. Oh. Okay, Kenzie, what is this monster? Good girl. What is this monster? Good girl, Kenzie. What is this monster?
It's sad.
Is he said that one?
Yeah.
Can you say Kenzie, what is this one?
Really what?
The silly schwa. Kenzie, next one, what is this monster? What is this monster, Kenzie? Good girl. Very good. Almost finished. What is this monster? B. 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 Good girl, Kenzie. What is this one? Good girl.
It's my monster.
Yeah, your monster. Sit down, Kenzie.
That's the cat.
Not Kai's monster.
And why are we doing this? Ultimately, so the children can read and spell quickly and easily. Kenzie was reading for pleasure by the time she was 4 years old. That's why we're doing this.
Hi, Kenzie.
Hello.
What book are you going to read today?
The cat in the
Can you use your nice, big, loud speaking voice and show me?
shoe.
Go for it.
The sun did not shine. It was too wet to play, so we sat in the house all that cold, cold, wet day.
Good girl. Keep going.
Yeah.
Turn the page. Show me your beautiful speaking voice.
I sat there with Sally. We sat there, we too. And I said, how I wish we had something to do, too wet to go out, and too cold to play ball. And so we sat in the house. We did nothing at all.
Girl, can you keep going for me, please? Cheeky.
So all we could do was to sit, and we did not like it, not one little bit.
Not one little bit.
Bump! And then something went bump. How that bump made us jump.
Oh, what do you think it was?
The cat in the hat!
Oh, turn the page and show me.
It's the cat in the hat!
Now, a lot of people who, funnily enough, haven't actually watched children using the speech sound pics approach tell me that, you need to teach phonemic awareness at the same time as phonics. So introduce the phonemic awareness, introduce phonics from the very beginning. And they don't understand about phonemic awareness in preschool, how it's used, how it develops, etc., etc. They don't really understand the speech sound monsters, which are just used as speech sound pictographs. So think about if that's embedded. Monster says the sound there's one of the representations. Monster says the sound s. There's the one of the representations. Monster k says k. There's one of the representations. Monster E, that's one of the representations. E. And that's why these monsters just represent speech sounds. They don't link with a letter or anything, because letters don't mean anything until they're in a word. So in this word, the E represents the E. Monster E would say E. In C, Monster E would say C. Just the same as if the word is we were going to see a show or something. Oh, my pen needs to change. So E, that would represent E in the word see. It represents E in the word see. We're going to go swim in the sea. It represents E in the word me. Represents E in the word key. And we could go on and on and on. It all depends on the word. So these are just sound pictographs. Now, advanced phonemic awareness can't hurt anybody.
it's going to hurt children if you're teaching advanced phonemic awareness skills at the expense of other stuff at the wrong time for that child. So we're always thinking about the best thing for that child. But in preschool, advanced phonemic awareness is so easy to teach, and it actually changes the brain, and it actually means that it's going to be a lot easier for children with advanced phonemic awareness to not become instructional casualties in school. It means that we're basically arming their brain against poor instruction. So the people that have their beliefs in how to teach phonics, etc., we're basically arming them. Nobody would disagree that a child that starts school with advanced phonemic awareness is at a disadvantage. Nobody who understands the science of reading and spelling anyway. So look at all these choices for that one sound, that E sound. There's the phonetic symbol E, there's monster E. So think about all of these choices. Let's think about a word like meteor. My sandwich looks meatier than yours. To understand the mapping here, they have to understand that's that representation for that's the representation for E. There's the T, there's the E, and there's the schwa. Eat, They would have to understand all of that in their phonics instruction. How far through a phonics program or whatever you're doing are those children going to understand that mapping? That's a representation for E. Look, if we do our embedded, use our sound pictographs, our speech sound monsters, that's E, that's E, that's the schwa. So let's just pretend we're going to embed these speech sound pictographs. Speech sound monsters, which are just phonetic symbols for kids, really. Okay, so here are the sounds. Whoops. The speech sound monsters represent those sounds. So e, t, e, So that's the phonics, that's the phonemic awareness, because that's just thinking about the sounds. Just listen for the sounds. You don't need to understand the phonics to have to develop phonemic awareness. So a child can, when you ask them to give you the sounds, the speech sounds in meteor, they can give you the sounds. Eat, meteor. I work with a lot of non-verbal kids, so those monsters mean that they can show me the sounds they hear because they can't pronounce them. But that's the phonics part. If you're going to wait for the phonics part, you're going to miss an awful lot of learning, opportunities to learn. And Maya is going to show us that right now.
Maya, could you do the monster routine for the word meteor, please? I can help you do the writing of the numbers. Yep.
Okay.
You do meteor.
Meteor.
Where's your duck hands?
Meteor. M-E-T-E-R. Meteor. M-E-T-E-R. Meteor. M-E-T-E-R. Meteor.
Good girl. Can you write the number 1?
Okay.
You want to try the number 2?
I think.
No thanks. Okay, I'll do upside down too. Hope I get. Oh, the text is not working very well.
Mama.
2. Do you want to do 3?
Yes, please.
You do 3. Good girl.
3.
Do you want to do 4?
No, thank you.
Okay. Wow, this texter has had a lot of use. Okay, and the 5?
No, thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can we check those sounds? Eat, meteor. Okay, now can you find the monsters?
Oh dear, the 3 is next to the 2.
Oh, that's okay. It doesn't matter. Can you get your monsters off of your monster mat?
Okay. T. Oh dear, this tourist ran away.
Oh no! Oh, let's see. Put them down here and see if we've got the schwa.
E.
Well, you're going to trick some kids if they watch this video.
Oh, sorry. Meteor.
Oh, beautiful. Well done. Meteor. What happens if we took away the last sound? What word would we have then?
Meaty.
We would have meaty, wouldn't we? Well done. What was that last sound that you took away?
The schwa.
Oh, what noise does the schwa make in this word?
Oh.
Well done. I'm going to put the schwa back where it goes. Where does it go?
Now we will have meat.
Oh, eat meat. You're right, we will. What if we took away the last sound now? What would we have then?
Me.
Oh, too clever.
Nothing.
So not only did she give us the sounds, eat, meteor, that's the monster routine. Eat, meteor, eat, meteor, eat, meteor, and Mummy helped with her numbers. And then the monsters, e, t, e, the schwa. Not only did she then choose the monsters, eat, she demonstrated advanced phonemic awareness because she was able to manipulate the speech sounds. She was able to delete a speech sound and tell you the new word. And she's got the visual here, so it's so much easier. So she's able to go, okay, meteor, without the schwa, meteor, is now eat, meaty. But look what she did, and this is what's the point I want you to take away from today. If you don't restrict children, they will learn far more than you will ever teach. So instead of as well as taking that one away, meteor into meaty, what did she do? Oh, let me see what happens if I take another one away. And then she realised I've now got eat, and that's a new word, that's another word. Let me do it again. What happens now? Eat me. Oh, look at that. So if I keep going down, I've still got a real word. She knows it's a real word because they're in her vocab. But if you introduce the phonics there, it actually changes it, doesn't it? If I've got meteor, that would be fine. If I've got meteor, that would be fine. Meteor. Oh, sorry. Eat. Meteor. Eat. Meteor, that would be fine, except when I go down to here, she'd go, oh, but that's not a word. Meaty is, but that isn't. So we can focus on how we speak, but it's not necessarily going to translate how we talk on paper because the way we spell is different. And if we had meteor as well, which is, again, the same, a meteor shower. But here, she would be stuck there and she'd probably switch off. Whereas because we're just focusing on the speech sound, she carried on. And that's why they developed the advanced phonemic awareness, because we're not blocking their learning by focusing on the phonics all the time. It's about as and when. It's what is important for that particular child at that particular time. But we do loads of advanced phonemic awareness in preschool separate to phonics. Now that doesn't mean that when I'm doing this, I'm not going to show them the word, but I can do that activity up to that point with children and just stop. But I could then say, okay, here is the version of meteor that we're just going to look at now. So if this is appropriate for them, then I'm going to show them the word. I might just show them the word anyway, even if they just see it and it doesn't go in, they're not ready for it. But if they can see it, a lot of the children will then go, okay, so, what's the E? It must be that one because that's going to be the T. That's going to be the T. Okay, and I've seen that schwa before, like in water, whatever, because we're constantly exploring. And yes, this is preschool. So then they would map it and they would go meteor and they would say, okay, when you took that last sound away to be meaty, can you just do that for me? And they'll go, okay, let's take it away. And then say, okay, Anything you want to tell me about this? Now, if their phonics aligns with, if their orthographic mapping skills mean that they understand, okay, that's actually not right. Meaty is a word, but that needs to change to a Y. That's what they'll do, and they'll demonstrate to me their knowledge of the code. They might not be ready for that yet. We might not have covered it in phonics yet, or they might just not have explored it before. And again, I might say to them, okay, when you went down from meaty to meat, can you just go down and see if that's okay? They'll go like that, go, yep, that's okay. Okay, now can you do it again? Can you go down again? Is that right? Me, there is the word me, and this is what we do in the Speedy 6. We're doing activity 6. We show the correct sounds for me, but they're the wrong sound picks. So that could be a sound pick for E, like in meat, but in this word it's not. So that's why we're doing the Speedy 6. We're constantly thinking about the correct mapping and not or whatever else. So when they come down to this, they'll go, it is the word me. They are the right speech sound monsters, but it goes like this, and I can't go down any further. So this is the kind of thing we're doing. We're bringing together that phonemic awareness with the phonics, and although a lot of the activities we're stopping with the phonemic awareness in preschool, it's because the child isn't ready for that particular phonics. But it doesn't mean we abandon the whole activity. It's about bringing it all together, and that is something that skillful SSP teachers do, and that's what you do when you come to training, and that's what you'll learn if you follow these lessons, these I Can Read Without You lessons. Just follow them through and just absorb it and understand it with children, and the children will teach you masses.